All right, it's time to wing a video. I got shit all over my office. All right, we are going to talk about that stuff. And what I was thinking, what I was thinking about it was, well, I don't do it very well. And especially, I don't do it to myself. Isn't that funny? Like, what does that even mean? Have you just, I know you have, everyone has. Like, what is love? You know? And one thing that I feel pretty safe in saying is that love is something that you will feel towards someone. And it doesn't matter that they have flaws. It is in spite of flaws. It's taking into account the whole picture. And that makes me think of a few things. One of them being, well, you'd have to be able to see the whole picture. And if you didn't know the person in question very well, then it would be hard to love them very thoroughly. Or if you did, it might be maybe more like an infatuation. You're not actually getting deep with that love. And the other thing that comes to mind is that, well, it just makes me aware of the fact that if you have to know the person very thoroughly in order to love them, and you have to love them in spite of their flaws, then I can say with a fairly high degree of certainty that I don't love myself. And that's weird, right? And I can say that because I appreciate now how little I know about myself. And that's really weird. That's wild to me. And I don't know myself very well because I have spent a lot of time and effort trying to be things in order to please other people. I'm trying to be a certain way. And the more I do that, the farther away I get from the real me, whatever that is. And I think it's generally accepted that you are your most genuine self at some point in childhood, early childhood, before you start worrying about what everyone thinks about you. And that part of you just starts to fade away as you start layering on all of these kind of protective aspects of you. Whether it's you're trying to hide a certain embarrassing part of you, or you're trying to add on something that you see other people having, and you don't want to be the odd one out. Now, obviously, there are totally normal parts of that. It's totally normal to want to fit in. It's normal to assimilate. That's just part of our programming. But I don't think it's normal that in order to fit in, you have to be something that is not in alignment with your kind of childhood genuine self. And I just appreciate more and more that I have deviated from that childhood genuine self so much that I don't actually know what that person is, what that original genuine Dylan. I don't know him very well. So it'd be hard to love that person because I don't know him very well. And I know because of my internal dialogue, how I speak to myself in my head is not always very nice. I can be pretty hard on myself. And so I'm clearly not loving myself in spite of my flaws. In fact, I call out my flaws and I can be harsh about them. I also continue to do things that in an attempt to hide my flaws from other people. So I'm embarrassed. I'm ashamed. I'm doing something to like hide me. So I think by definition, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I love myself. And now I'm wondering, what would it look like? What would it feel like if I loved myself? How would that change my life if this is my life now? You know, what's the before and after comparison about how I act, how people act towards me? That's a cool idea to me to think about, to ponder. I suspect that I would probably laugh and smile more. I would be more outwardly energetic. I think people would be more attracted to me, attracted to my energy. I think I would be more creative, and I would do things that were more unique to me and for me. And you know, I gotta say, I have not been that creative. I haven't been that creatively productive in a long time. I kind of flirt with it occasionally, but I'm not actually producing work that really excites me and is for me. So basically, I think I need to love myself, and I need to work on just whatever needs to be worked on to get there. And I don't know exactly what that is. Again, I don't have answers. I can give you some questions, but I don't have answers. So, questions. Do you love yourself? How do you know? Like, do you actually treat yourself in a way that an outside observer would say, wow, that person really loves themselves, because I can see how they behave to themselves. How well do they take care of themselves? How much understanding do they have for themselves? And empathy, in a way. Is that still empathy if it's yourself? It's a weird realization. It's a weird it's a weird understanding to come into. That's just the same thing said in a more clumsy way. But still, I would like to work on that. And hey, if this is interesting, you can hang along for the ride and see, maybe I have changes in my demeanor or in my subject matter or whatever that should be apparent, and that as a viewer you can see, oh hey, he's doing things differently. He's behaving differently, and it looks like he loves and accepts himself. And we'll see how that pans out. Okay, I need to stop this recording and start another one and make up another topic, because I'm going to be gone for the weekend. So we're going to bang out some videos real quick, and I'll see you tomorrow.